got skills. Hold on one second. Oh, good morning. Greetings, one and all. We are live from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area, where we are facing a bomb cyclone, a river of moisture coming in off the Pacific. Storms forecast throughout the day, flooding here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area, in areas that flood. I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay. I did not complete my pre-show checklist put together by my elite tech team, Gus and Oliver, making things happen. We love our tech team. They build in sound effects. They are elite. We have coffee in hand. We are ready to go talk National Federation of High School Basketball rules. Hope everyone's doing well. Tom Hickey is in the house from Milwaukee. Oh. We have all had that game. Okay, officiated your first girls JV game, building upon your middle school career, and the final score was 70-2. Maybe your assigner said, I can put Thomas on this game for sure because we know what's going to happen. The 70-2 games are never fun. Last night I had a collegiate game and it was perfect. It was the perfect game. Both teams sitting in a zone, both teams running very patient offense, both coaches coaching, players playing. It was the game you want, and I was fortunate. And of course, we remember those games. We have to remember those games for when we have those games that are just the opposite. One of my partners on the game was actually with me for a game about a month ago where it was the exact opposite. Right, just the first period lasted forever. So many foul calls. Complaining coaches, etc. So we remember the good ones when we got them. Chris experiencing weather-related cancellations and postponements. I know we've had some moving around of the schedule as teams tried to avoid the weather that's going to occur tonight and throughout the day is expected to be very severe here, but it's only rain. Aaron Bender in the house, Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, lost a game due to weather. Larry is in the house. Good to see you. Let's see. How could I do this? In Montana. All right, we are dominating the country. We have South Dakota. We have Wisconsin, Michigan. Michigan. Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yes, that's Michigan. Go Blue! We've got Montana. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Mike Goodwin. A brief glimpse of sunshine today, Mike. A brief glimpse. Chicagoland is in the house. And that elite little corner of Connecticut, Billy Mack holds down, is in the house. Mike Connors, good to see you. Haven't seen you recently. Hope all is well with you. Jason Hayes from Missouri, and Dr. Phil in the house from the great Bourbon State. Here's to you, Dr. Phil. The coffee is good this morning. It is good. Wenatchee. Good to see you, Chad. And Dave Craig, icy, Rochester, Minnesota. Ice and snow. Wow. Yes, well, Yes, it is rainy. It is stormy. There is going to be flooding, which obviously it doesn't affect me personally. On the home front here at the beautiful A Better Official World headquarters. But out on the roadways, there will definitely be, you're driving down the road and there's incident over here and incident over here, etc. People need to be recognizing what the situation presents. Oh, the Chuck Taylors make an appearance. Yeah, but you paid, $4.99 for them, Billy, and she paid like $75. So Phil Haddad is in the house from the Keystone State. Is that right? Is that Pennsylvania, the Keystone State? Oof. Yes, the blowouts. The Zooch is in the house. Do we have game video from the Jason Hayes Zucci game? Do we have it? I haven't seen it. Game day is, I have a game tonight. It should be a good one. Young, very young, like juniors, sophomores, team in San Lorenzo hosting another team. Should be a good one. It is a new year. Indeed. Sound is on. Yeah, we're good. Okay, awesome. All right, I am not messing around today. I'm shooting for a 90-minute show. That's my goal. We will see. Vic Horton in the house from the beautiful Sacramento area. I worked with 2 Sacramento officials last night, Vic. Olivia and Fantasia. Okay. All right. I got my questions prepared today. Did I have a chance to do a run through with my elite tech team of the flow of the show? Wait a minute. With the document that they prepared? Now, this is the 5-Play Friday document. Ay. We're flying by the seat of our pants. That's the case today. Let's go here. And go here. Okay. I'm familiarizing myself on the fly. Okay. If I press that button, nothing happens. That's good. Okay. All right, so something that's not working. What? What is that? Oh, I do know that a lot of schools are making a very serious effort to recognize that officials are in a tough position, etc., and doing things relating to the crowd and game management, trying to emphasize, getting a lot more thank yous from coaches after the game. You could tell there's an effort underway to show appreciation for game officials. I think schools recognize that they are at risk for cancellations. Maybe they've experienced some schedules being shifted around, etc., due to officiating shortage. And so it's great to see that developing. But I do not know about Officials Appreciation Week. Is that a national thing? We need to publicize that. I had a dad on the front row of the stands. He was pretty funny last night. Anyway, with that, let me make sure what I got. I got you. All right, staying fresh. Let's look at some rule scenarios so we can sharpen our saw and be ready for anything that happens on the court. Let's go. Stick around. Greetings. Welcome back to the Basketball Rules Expert. Let's look at some play scenarios today so that we can get better as basketball officials. And when are we going to do that? We're going to do that starting right now. A1 dives for a loose ball and grabs it. B1 knocks the ball from A1's hands just as Team A coach starts yelling for a timeout. Just as B2's imminent possession of the loose ball, an official grants Team A timeout. The officials rule that the timeout shall be granted, but Team B will get the subsequent throw-in as their possession was imminent when the whistle blew. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? So this may or may not have happened in my game. A1 dives for a loose ball and is holding the ball on the floor. The ball is deflected from their hands just as the Team A coach starts yelling, timeout, 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 right? And just as B is about to pick it up, an official grants the timeout to Team A. The ball is loose, but it is about to be possessed by Team B. The officials ruled that the timeout shall be granted and award the ball to Team B as they were imminent possession was in effect. Were the officials correct, yes or no, right? So I believe at the NBA level, when they go to play review, imminent possession becomes a factor, and if a team had imminent possession, they end up sort of fast forwarding and saying they would have gotten the ball, etc. But in NFHS, that is simply not a thing. That is not a factor. So in this instance, we had team control on the court by Team A. The ball was deflected and became loose. And during that loose ball scenario, a timeout was granted to Team A. How will we resume in this situation? Our officiating crew has made a mistake in granting the timeout. We have to recognize that fact, but we're going to have to go to the point of interruption. And what was that point of interruption on this play? Team A control of the ball, right? We erroneously granted because we did not have player control when the request was made and the timeout was granted. We have made that mistake, but we go to point of interruption and we award the ball to Team A in this instance. So in this instance, where the officials gave possession to Team B, were the officials correct in this instance? Yes or no? No. No, they were not. We would award the ball to Team A. We have to, in this instance, fall on our sword, recognize the situation, but proceed by rule. That's always our guidance. That's always the way we have to make things happen. On the court, don't know why that changed there. So I had this happen in my game. We did not award the ball to Team B. I thought, threw that in. But my partner granted the timeout. The ball was clearly loose in that situation. Before they go and report, I tell, he comes to me, we talk it through. I say, the ball was definitely loose, but we did have Team A control. You've granted the timeout. We're going to grant the timeout. We're going to resume with Team A, spot nearest to where the ball was. And that's how it goes. You have The eruption was from the opposing bench. We're going to have a discussion with them as they recognized that the ball was loose. Yeah, that was the situation. That was the situation. It occurred in front of the opponent's bench, so they were they were actively involved on that play. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, it is a thing in the NBA, right? So they go to review a block charge play. Let's say they go to review a play, and if the try was in flight, then they're going to go to a jump ball situation in the NBA, right? Because there was no team control. But what they do, if a team either had the ball or was about to have the ball, they will fast forward and say, we're not going to take that away from them due to the review process. So that's cool. Regarding officials this appreciation week, Mike Connors sounds like a scam. I believe that's what you're referring to. That's funny. I don't know what that is. Tell me more. Yeah, everybody knows this imminent possession thing, but of course, the things that will bleed in, right, from other levels. They bleed into the game. They don't necessarily bleed into the officiating of the game, but they bleed into the perception of the stakeholders in the game. The coach says, we should get the ball because of imminent possession. I saw it on TV last night. All right. Cool. All right. I'm going to do a thing. Hey, thanks for joining us today for the Basketball Rules Expert. Appreciate you being here. This is the show where we take National Federation of High School basketball rules and lift them off of the printed page, try to breathe life into them, simplify and clarify the rules so we can take them with us onto the basketball court. My name is Greg Austin with A Better Official. We craft video to help basketball officials get better, and this show is all about helping officials have a better understanding of the rules of National Federation of High School basketball rules so that we can take it with us onto the basketball court. And with that, let's move on to our very next play. But before I do, yeah. A1 grabs the ball after a made basket to begin the throw-in process. He has 1 foot out of bounds and 1 foot on the court. He then throws the ball to A2, who has both feet out of bounds and let me start over. Did I screw this one up? Hold on. What? I could do that. Let's take a look at our next play. A1 grabs the ball after a made basket to begin the throw-in process. He has 1 foot out of bounds and 1 foot on the court. A1 then throws the ball to A2, who has both feet in bounds. A2 dribbles the ball up the floor. The officials rule a throw-in violation on Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no, right? Scored goal, Player gets the ball out of the basket, steps mostly out of bounds. They have 1 foot out of bounds, 1 foot inbounds. Releases a throw-in pass to a teammate who's inbounds. The teammate dribbles up the floor. And the official says, hold on. I have a violation. That is a throw-in violation by rule. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? In this instance, they would be correct because we have case play to support that our thrower must be out of bounds. Now, even though they have 1 foot out of bounds and 1 foot inbounds, which gives them out of bounds status, they must have nothing inbounds in order to release a throw-in pass. So in this instance, where the officials ruled a throw-in violation, were the officials correct? Yes or no? Indeed, yes, they were. This would be a throw-in violation by rule. Simple, straightforward, easy play. One that could, throw a curveball every now and again at us. Throw in a curveball. Yes, Thomas, easy. Let's take a look. Maybe that's the problem. Hold on. Where am I? Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Because some people's IT department is staffed by a farmer. Mine, of course, is not. All right. We have a local high school here, the Hayward Farmers, which I appreciate that team name. Mark, you do not need both feet inbounds, both feet out of bounds. You need nothing inbounds. That would be the key. As Rick points out, indeed, player status is determined by in that. Okay, cool. All right, I got those first two out of the way. Those are a little clunky. I'm going to turn that off because I've learned my lesson. And we're moving on. A1 drives to the basket, releases the ball for a try, and then contacts B1. The ball passes through the basket. Whistles from both lead and center. Lead signals a block. Center signals a charge. The officials score the goal, report both fouls, and resume with a non-designated spot throw-in to Team B. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Here we have it, boys and girls, a large scenario. Block charge play, one official has a block, one official has a charge. The ball goes through the basket. The officials count the goal and resume at a point of interruption, a non-designated spot throw-in. Is that the correct adjudication of this play at the high school level? When this happens in your game, if we're not prepared and we have to try to sort this out on the court, that's going to be a challenge. Okay, a large scenario where we have fouls from two officials, conflicting calls. The correct ruling would be a double foul. Okay, so one official had block, one official had charge. This is a double foul. What do we know about double fouls? Do double fouls cause the ball to become dead when a try is in flight, which it was in this instance? No, they do not. So we have a live ball that passes through the goal. If we have a live ball that passes through the goal, are we going to score that goal? Yes, we are. Also, with a double foul, no free throws will be awarded, right? That's important to understand. and we're going to resume at the point of interruption. What's the point of interruption on this play? Well, the ball's passed through the goal, so the opponent will get a non-designated spot throw in on the end line. So the Blarge rears its head. Our officials in this instance, did they correctly adjudicate this play? Yes. Yes, they did. Ruled a double foul, reported both fouls, scored the goal, resumed at the correct point of interruption. That is how you handle a Blarge situation. Nice. Oh, the infamous Blargy Town. Mike says yes, double foul, right? That it can be a hang-up for some officials, Mike. It's like, well, I know that we have a charge, and a player control foul causes the ball to be dead, and so a goal cannot be scored. So if we think about it as it's a charge, it's a player control foul, we can get hung up. But recognizing that this is simply a double foul by rule helps us in the adjudication. And of course, needless to say, post and hold from the outside, right? Recognizing that leads tend to go quick. I forget who called what on this play, but, we expect the lead's going to come quick with a charge call on our outside official, right? If they have a fist up, hold, post, and hold. Well, in many officials, in this instance, a great embarrassment is going through their mind. Oh no, we've done something horribly, horribly wrong, etc. We've made a mistake not procedurally, right? We feel really good about the fact that, okay, we had this in our game. What's the proper adjudication? We're going to do it. We're going to own it as a crew. The rules outline how to handle this. This is very straightforward. We could really celebrate the fact that we got the play right in the adjudication of the play. Confusion is going to reign in this instance. Coaches, you're going to score what? But many officials feel like, oh no, this is, a bad thing to happen. And it's not what we want to have happen, but it has happened, and we just simply have to embrace that fact, resolve the situation, and move forward. And Mark is correct. If the try was unsuccessful, then we would have to go to the possession arrow as the way to resume play. We have a double foul that occurs during an unsuccessful try, right? Or if we had an unsuccessful try, the ball's batted, no team control has been gained after the ending of team control, and we have a double foul of any sort, right? How would we resume? We'd go to the possession arrow for the resulting throw-in. Yeah, anytime, Thomas, we have an officiating mistake, right? So we had that in the previous in the timeout scenario, right? My partner on the play made a mistake in granting the timeout. We just have to recognize that. We own that, and may need some additional communication with the coach, who's upset at the moment, right? We have to own the fact that in some fashion we have done something incorrectly, made a mistake, etc. But in the end, here's the solution that the rules book provides us, right? This is how to properly adjudicate this play. This is how to move forward. We do that, right? And we celebrate the fact that we knew how to do that, and we move forward. Billy Mack says he told the player that there was no three-point line when he played, and she didn't believe him. And we used to have a rotary phone where you'd have to wait till Yes, Dave says. So Dave says another key is that the shot has to be released because otherwise, in the absence of a try that has been released, then we have a double foul with a player holding the ball, and that would not. But what would all right? So let's review that. We have that double foul situation. We have a block charge, Blargy Town. The ball has not yet been released, so we had in that instance, we have team control. So what would our point of interruption be? Rather than a try that had been released, our point of interruption would be player control by Team A, team control in that instance. That's a good one to think through. Thomas Hennian is in the house. Well, we assume if it's a play down the lane that it's going to be the Leeds. Of course, you've extensively pregamed that. But obviously they extensively pregamed outside officials posting and holding without success. Without success. Okay, here comes the risky part of the show. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. I don't have this well laid out. Hold on. I think I do that. Okay. Turn that off. Do that. And I'm here. Hey, we've got a tremendous group of show supporters. Let's take a look. Who is up on the show supporter big board this week? Brett Temple, David Yannickian, Jonathan Harris, Herb Hahn, and Roger George. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? There'll always be a chance. A link down. You want to support the show, there'll always be a link down in the show notes below, and you know I'm going to put one up above. Tremendous. And then from here, sort of stuck. Hold on. All right, let's look at our next play. A1 is driving to the basket for a breakaway lay-in. While the ball is on the rim, B1, who is trailing the play, intentionally strikes the backboard and causes the ball to fall off of the rim. The officials rule basket interference, score the goal, and assess a player technical foul on B1. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? Player goes for a layup, but while the ball is on the ring, intentionally slapping the backboard by the opponent, causes the backboard to shake. The ball rolls off. The officials say, score the goal, basket interference, player technical for intentionally striking the backboard, and moving forward from there. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? The most misunderstood application of basket interference on this play? I don't know if the rules are different at other levels. Definitely a factor that comes into play. But in high school, slapping the backboard, causing the backboard to vibrate, has no impact on a basket interference ruling. It is illegal to contact the backboard intentionally. It is not illegal to contact the backboard in the attempt to block a shot. That is a judgment by the officials. In this instance, the officials, their judgment was this was an intentional act. This is a player technical foul. That would be correct. But the scoring of the goal is not correct by rule at the National Federation of High School level. So in this instance, where the officials scored the goal by ruling basket interference, as well as the player technical. Were they correct? Yes or no? No, not in this instance. The correct ruling here would be player technical, but no scoring of the goal related to a basket interference violation. That would be the correct adjudication. Do. Okay. All right. So, I'm not sure what Dave's referring to there. Warren says, yes, sir. I assume we're talking about the basket interference play. That would be incorrect. It is not basket interference, and it is technical foul. So Mike's ruling is partially correct. We get partial credit in this instance. That is a true statement. Misunderstood by many, right? So this is the problem. This is the problem, right? You're working a game and your partner comes up with this ruling. What you going to do? What you going to do, right? Are you going to step forward and say, partner, by rule, it's not basket interference. We cannot score that goal, right? That would be the correct thing to do. Challenging, but we see this misapplication consistently, right? You will see it maybe once, twice, 3 times a year when other crews are working, etc. And the other factor Chris brings into play is you've got partners who work at other levels, right? So I believe at the collegiate level, NCAA men's, this action of having an effect on the backboard can be ruled a basket interference. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. And so if we're working with collegiate officials, right, we have to recognize that. And as a collegiate official, you have to recognize high school, right? So NCAA men's, the ball contacts the backboard on a try. It's by rule considered to be on its downward flight, and contacting the ball after that point is goaltending by rule, right? So, but not in National Federation of High School. So we have to recalibrate if we officiate other levels. And if you are working with partners who work other levels, you have to stand up and say, hey, high school rules tonight. If there's any question, right, you can talk about that in pregame. If there's any question where I think you may be applying a collegiate rule to a situation, I'm going to come to you and we're going to talk, right? And you're going to say, thank you, partner. I appreciate that, right? Straightforward. Would I have made it through school if I didn't? I was leaning heavily on partial credit. This sounds like rules book language. I may have had a player slap the backboard on his teammate's layup. He was coming in to clean up if the try missed. Ay. Thomas, if the ball goes in the basket in this situation where we have a slapping the backboard, of course we're going to score the goal. Absolutely, Warren. That would be the incorrect ruling, to score the goal related to basket interference. That would be incorrect. So it's not basket interference, National Federation of High School Basketball rules. It is a player technical related to slapping the backboard. You know, it would be nice if I had some more hot coffee. That would be nice. That's all I'm going to say. All right, I turn that off. Let's go. Dribbling on a fast break, A1 is outside the three-point arc and throws a pass towards A2. The ball deflects off of defender B1's head, bounces high in the air, and then passes through the goal. The officials rule that since this was not a try for goal, only 2 points shall be scored. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Wow. So players dribbling down the side, throws a pass to a teammate. The ball hits a defender in the head, bounces high up in the air, and goes through the basket. You don't see that every day, but you may see it in 5 Play Friday this week, right? So this play happens. This can catch us off guard. What are we going to need to do? We're going to need to make the proper ruling about how many points shall be scored. In this instance, the officials ruled that only 2 points were scored. This was not a try. It was obvious. It was obviously a pass. It wasn't directed towards the goal. It was obviously a pass to a teammate. The ball bounces high in the air and goes in. The officials say this was not a try, therefore it's going to be 2 points. Were the officials correct in this instance? By rule, National Federation of High School, any thrown ball from behind the three-point arc that passes through the goal is to be considered a 3-point goal. By rule, whether it's a pass, whether it's a try, makes no difference. Important to understand that. This may be different from the rules at other levels. But in this instance, 3 points should have been awarded. So when the officials erroneously awarded only 2 points, were the officials correct? Yes or no? No. This would not be the correct ruling in this scenario, right? This scenario happens in your game. This is wildly unusual. It's going to potentially catch us off guard. We have to just recognize that. If we awarded 2 points in this scenario and then the game moved forward, at what point could we correct the error, right? Maybe we're processing, the game continues, we're processing, we recognize, hey, wait a minute, that should have been 3 points. Up until what point could we correct that? That would be a correctable error scenario. So even if we get it wrong on the first attempt, we have a little bit of time to make the correct adjudication on the play. But in this instance, our officials were incorrect in their ruling. Oh, Mike sets the tone. Very controversial. We'll have this play on 5 Play Friday. To reinforce it, Thomas says 2 points. Edward says 2 points. Mike Connor says by rule 3 points, and I agree. Would it matter where B1 was standing, right? So let's say, Warren, I'm a 3-point shooter and I am behind the 3-point line and I release a try and defender B1 jumps from inside the 3-point arc and contacts the basketball, deflects it just slightly, but the ball sneaks over the ring, over the edge of the ring, and scores. Are we going to score that 2 points because the defender was inside? No. The status of the defender, not a factor on the play. Now, if this player from the outside threw the ball and it bounced off their teammate's head, they passed it to A2. A2 says, I got it, boom, right? It bounces off their head and through the goal. That would only be 2 points by rule. Well, if we need citations, Billy, we can rely on you to make it happen. Yes, very controversial. Yes. It's great to see it in the wild. Miraculously, hot coffee has appeared. Life is good here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. Okay, so Billy Mack has it, 4.41.4, situation B. I'm going to refresh that. A1's three-point try is short and below ring level when it hits the shoulder of A2 or B1 and rebounds to the backboard and through the basket, right? So the A1's three-point try, that's an interesting scenario. Yes, a little different scenario, right? I see where you're going. Oh. Thomas asks, if the ball is launched from behind the three-point line, bounced on the floor, and went in, would it be a three-point goal? No, it would not. By rule, citing the case play that Billy Mack has where the three-point try has obviously ended. Understanding when a try for goal ends is critical, right? A try ends when? When does a try end, right? When the goal is scored, or when it is obvious it will not be scored, or when it contacts the floor. I would argue the contact the floor, it's like, well, it has to obviously not have a chance to score before it contacts the floor. There's a period of time when it gets below ring level. But those are the three ways. In Billy's case, the try falls short, bounces off of one of the players. Scoring is 2 points. Little different than our scenario. Some would say, Billy Mack's an instigator here. Michael Hogg jumping in. We are in the midst of controversy, Michael. Controversy. If it bounced off of A2, if our... I see. Okay. Yeah. Billy is he found a crevice in the rules interpretations, and he's like putting a wedge through it, saying, a obvious move by a rules expert, right? Because you understand the rules. These are the rulings, but wait a minute. In the rules and the rulings, there's this conflict that's unaddressed, right? I don't think that applies to our case play scenario. If the player was fouled when they were passing the ball, that's a great question. That is a great question. But as I stated, Michael, in the start of the episode, my goal is a 90-minute show today. I got to get out of here. I am not going to wade down this path. Maybe we'll address it more on 5 Play Friday when we have this play scenario. The Ray Allen joins the chat. Berkeley over Bishop O'Dowd in overtime last night. Great game. Go Yellow Jackets. Ray Allen. Nice. Which floor? Big floor in any event. 2-person, Ray? Ay. Hopefully not at Berkeley High. That floor is huge. It's just huge. Okay. I go here. A1 outside the three-point arc in her front court throws a cross-court pass to A2. The ball strikes the ring and goes into Team A's backcourt, where A3 retrieves the ball. The officials rule a backcourt violation on Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Well, on our previous play, any ball thrown from behind the arc that goes through is to be considered a try. So this must have been a try for goal. If we have a try for goal, then we can't have a backcourt violation in this situation. That's what our brain tells us. But the previous play says if the ball passes through the goal, it's to be considered a try and scored as 3 points. But in the absence of the ball going through, the officials are still allowed to make judgments about whether a try has been attempted by a player or whether it was simply a pass. And so in this instance, where a player is passing from one play, a ball is being passed from one player to another, that does not end team control by rule. The other play says, well, if the ball ultimately passes through, then it's to be considered a 3, but that doesn't mean that it was a try at the outset. So in this instance, our officials ruled this to be a backcourt violation. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This would be a backcourt violation. There was no try for goal despite the ball contacting the ring. Again, this can cause us a moment where we're, okay, what just happened, right? But if we recognize that it was simply a try, there has been no ending of Team A's control. They were the last to touch in the front court, the first to touch in the backcourt. A backcourt violation would be the correct ruling on this play. Yoy, yoy, the big floor. I think that's sort of like the scenario, Mike, is the gym at Berkeley High. The floor just seems massive. It's a sort of a cavernous gym, and it and there's lots of room on the end lines, and it just the vibe and working the game. It always seems like it's a few feet longer, even though it's not. So. That is not a game that's ideal to have two-person. Yeah. I guess that would be the determination. So let's say the team is not in the bonus, Mike. This is not covered by rule. This is team is not in the bonus. Fast break scenario, player from beyond the three-point arc throws the ball to a teammate and is fouled after the release of the pass. Subsequently, the ball hits the defender's head, bounces high into the air, the ball goes through the basket. Would we score the goal in this instance? Has the foul on the passer caused the ball to become dead? I would say that it has, and the ball had become dead and therefore would not be scored. It's messy business. Messy business. And we would adjudicate the foul. If they were not in the bonus, it would be the spot nearest the foul. Ray, I'm glad to hear it was three-person. Glad to hear it. At Berkeley High, big floor. Sounds like a great game. One thing, it's like it's been so long since I've been at Berkeley High, and for the stands to be filled, you get into these, the same thing at James Logan, right? It's a cavernous gym, big floor, great. If just imagine the stands being filled, and they never are. Never are. And I know they have been back in the day, back when some officials used to go to Berkeley High, Ray Allen. The stands would be rocking. Boy, if that scenario happened, if we had that same scenario where the ball is passed, bounces off the head, goes through the goal, we know to score it by rule, that's 3 points. Same scenario, a foul is called either before the release of the pass or after the release of the pass. Does the ball become dead in that situation? Ay, 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 ay. The eye would be in the beholder. It would be a judgment call to whether this was a pass or a try. You know, right? When you see it, right? The behind the head, a skip pass as opposed to an obvious shooting motion. But that's why we're paid the incredibly large dollars to make those judgments. All right, Rick, good to see you. Glad you stopped by. Sorry. I'm not understanding the distinction between backboard and ring. I missed it. Wait a minute. Does this work? Why is this not working? Pisses me off. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I'm not going to do that. Oh. Let me see. That's interesting. Hold on. I'm not going to hit my 90-minute goal. I just don't understand why this thing doesn't work. Edward, let's say player A throws a lob pass to player B, but it goes in. Is that a 2 or a 3? If it is thrown from behind the 3-point line, it is a 3-point goal by rule. Any ball thrown by a player, whether it is a pass or a try for goal that passes through the goal, is to be considered a 3-point goal in that instance. Oh, I see. So we're talking about our player. Wait, is that a play that's coming up? Player drives to the basket, throws the ball off the backboard, catches the ball for a dunk, just like Billy Mack used to do in his Chuck Taylor Converse, throws it down, does a chin up. No, throws it down. That is a legal play by rule because a player has thrown the ball off of their equipment. Being a legal play, does the rule, Billy, say that it is to be considered a try? I don't believe the rule states that. It states that it's a legal play because it's... Oh, crap. A1 dribbles, come to a stop. A throws the ball at team B's basket. B, the opponent's backboard. An official and catches the ball, ruling legal in A. a team's own backboard is considered a try for goal. Well, I guess you have put me in my place, Billy Mack. It does, case play does say specifically is to be considered a try for goal. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad the pass went off of the ring. Excellent. Excellent. Ed, going back to a previous play, let's say after the scored goal, B1 takes the ball to inbound but does not place both feet behind the line before throwing it in. Is it a violation? The only thing is their status has to be, they cannot have a foot on the court. They must not have a foot on the court. That would be the distinction. So you see it all the time. After a scored goal, player gets the ball, they step with one of their feet out of bounds, they lift the other foot and pass the ball to a teammate. That would be considered a legal play. In the absence of lifting the foot, that would be the illegality on the play. Okay, so in this instance where the cross-court pass contacted the ring, went into the backcourt would be the correct ruling. If the pass had hit the corner of the backboard, probably the only way it could get to the backcourt, although it could go off the backboard and be deflected by a player towards the backcourt. That could happen as well. That would not be a backcourt violation. By rule, the ball being thrown and contacting a team's own backboard by case play provided by Billy Mack is to be considered a try for goal. Try explaining that one to the coach. A4 is penalized for a player technical foul. The coach for Team B tells the official that he or she wants substitute B6 to shoot the free throws for the technical foul. The officials do not allow B6 to shoot the free throws, stating that only the players who are officially in the game are allowed to attempt those free throws. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? This would not be a ruling that many officials would make, I hope. Hold on. I don't know why that turned off. Right? Who can attempt technical foul free throws? Any player or eligible substitute. Super clear by rule. We would allow that player to attempt those free throws. In this instance, a really straightforward play, one that we would not want to get wrong, but in this instance, did the officials get it wrong? Indeed. Indeed they did. We would allow B6 to attempt those free throws by rule. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to get an obvious incorrect after all the drama about our previous plays. Well, that's simple. Yeah, we got that one. Yes, and of course, Billy brings up an important point. If we have a situation where a substitute is going to attempt those technical foul free throws, this is a period where the ball is, where a player is substituted out. A lengthy period of time can occur. We may lose track of that fact, but our player who was substituted out may not return until the clock has properly run. So just something to be aware of in this instance. Like the coach may say, I don't want this player to play. Oh, I wouldn't trust them to play. But I want them to attempt. It's little Billy at the end of the bench. He never gets to play, and I want him to have a chance to score, etc. Right? So we bring them in. They attempt the free throws. Do they have to stay in the game? Can somebody come in and replace them? Obviously, yes. Yes, they can. Can the player that they substituted out for come back and replace them? No. No, they cannot. Not until the clock has properly started and run. Are you talking about the language on the previous play? Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Any eligible player or eligible substitute, right? Just understanding the distinction, calling them bench personnel, right? A player or eligible substitute, because our disqualified player, let's say, A7, disqualified player had fouled out earlier. They are bench personnel, right? They are a team member. They cannot, because they are not an eligible substitute. Indeed, right. And also, of course, as we are now in the at least in the second half of the season, want to recognize situations where maybe a team manager who's been activated for the game, etc. Coach may want to bring him in this situation. You may have an injured player who's wearing like a knee brace or even crutches or something. Could they come in this situation and attempt those free throws? I want to facilitate those moments when we have a chance. So that's cool. Got to remember to turn that off before we go to the transition. A lot of words. In an attempt to dunk the basketball, A1 goes up but misses the dunk. The ball hits the ring and bounces up above the ring that has been pulled down by A1. As the ring is returning to its original position, the ball comes down and hits it, springing the ball high into the air, where it then comes down and passes through the goal, having returned to its original position. Wow, that's a lot of words. The officials rule basket interference on A1. A1 goes up to dunk, throws the ball down with force, depresses the ring. As a result, the ball does not go pass through the goal, bounces up in the air. The ball comes down. The ring returns to its original position, causing the ball to shoot up in the air, but miraculously, it then passes through the goal. The officials rule a basket interference on A1. Is that the correct adjudication on this play? Why didn't I go there automatically? Who knows? This is a basket interference violation by rule. A depressed ring, even though brought to that position legally, as it was in this instance, that contacts the ball, is a basket interference violation by rule. So in this instance, where the officials ruled a basket interference violation by rule, were our officials correct? Yes or no? Yes, they were. This is the correct adjudication of this play. The trampoline effect, you can see it when the depressed ring returns to its original position, contacts the basketball, will send it in an unnatural acceleration upward, and our officials made the correct ruling on this play. A unicorn play. Dave, that is a great statement. A huge part of officiating is judgment. We need to be in good position, but using good, sound judgment. Most of the time, we know what the game is presenting to us. This is a player in the game who is attempting to do a thing. And we've seen this before. We know what their intent is. Are we experts at judging intent? We are in the context of the game, right? We are in the context of the game. Can we say, you know, we've seen it. We've seen it. The coffee's still hot. Perfect. Perfect. We're grooving. Team A has a throw-in. A2, A3, and A4 and A5 take positions on the lane line, so close to each other that no defenders are able to fit between any of them without illegally displacing one of the other Team A players. The officials rule that room must be given for the defenders. Were the officials correct? Yes or no, right? Coach from the sideline calls stack one, right? Players line up in a stacked position on the lane line. And they, by design, are trying to get so close to each other that defenders can't fit between them. The opponents are attempting to get in. The officials recognize this and say, hey, you got to give them room. Right? Is that the correct ruling in this situation? No, it's not. There's no rules provision that says in this instance of players who are away from the sideline, from the boundary, who are away from the boundary, there's no provision in the rules that says the defenders are allowed in that situation. Now, sometimes we may have a situation where defenders are trying to get in, and we have, during this dead ball period, we have some action between players that we need to address. But if the Team A players in this instance had established that position before the defenders, they are entitled to those positions, and there's no provision in the rule that says otherwise. There's a provision that when the players are close to the boundary, there is restrictions that come into play. But these players are not close to the boundary. They're in a stacked position on the lane line. So in this instance where the officials said must make room and allow defenders in, were our officials correct? No, they were not. That would not be the correct way to approach the situation by rule. What would happen on the court in this situation? We would hear through the sound effects which brings up the question, if you made a ruling on the court and the DJ, the person who was controlling the laptop with all the sounds and everything, gave you the sad trombones after your ruling, would this be considered an unsporting act or an excellent use of sound effects? Wait a minute. Who's this in the chat? Randy Wilson. Good to see you, Randy. Correct. If they want the spot, get there first. Yes, that's sort of like the misconception, right? We've got situations where there are restrictions, situations where they're not. Although the one close to the boundary, do we ever see that? No. I turn that off. Team A is in the bonus. A1 is in the act of shooting, but has not released the ball. B2 pushes A2, who is setting a legal screen for A1. Official calls a foul on B2 just before A1 releases the ball for a try. The ball goes into the goal. The officials score the goal and award A2 the and one free throw. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right. We have a situation where A1 is in the act of attempting a try for goal, but has not released the ball. The ball is in their hand. An opponent fouls a teammate of our player who's attempting the try. Ultimately, the whistle is blown, the try is released, the ball passes through the goal. The officials score the goal and award A2 the and one free throw. I saw this on TV in an NBA game, right? Okay, right. So we have a situation where we have continuous motion applies in this situation. We have a foul by any defender during the habitual throwing motion of shooter A1. Continuous motion shall apply. The foul does not cause the ball to become dead. The result of the try shall count. We will score that goal. What do we have, though, on the foul? We have to penalize the foul. Team A is in the bonus, so A2 will be awarded bonus free throws in this situation. At other levels, in the NBA specifically, they have a unique rule here that the player who was fouled gets at one free throw in an and one situation. But in this situation, bonus free throws would be awarded to the fouled player. Super simple, very straightforward. So in this instance, our officials are rewarded only one as sort of the and one as a result of the try to the teammate of the player who scored the goal. Were the officials correct in this instance? No, this is not the correct application of rules, National Federation of High School Basketball rules. Again, just bringing into the fact we do see rules applied at other levels. We have to be aware of those, that those are very unique and distinct and not a part of National Federation of High School Basketball rules. Continuous motion. Yes, they would get bonus free throws. Yes. What? I saw it on TV, man. Correct. I wanted to make that more obvious. I didn't make it obvious in reading the question. That is obvious. All right. How are we doing? Oh my gosh, I got too many plays to go. While bringing the ball up the floor under pressure in the backcourt, A1 releases the ball for a pass to A2 in the front court. The covering official's count is at 9 seconds when the ball is released, but before the count reaches 10, the ball bounces in the front court. After the count reaches 10, the bounce pass is caught by A2. The officials rule this to be a legal play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right, tension is building. The count in the backcourt, a visible count in the backcourt, is at 9. Player throws the ball to a teammate in the front court. It's a bounce pass. It contacts the floor, but before the teammate catches the ball, the 10-second count is reached. The official says this is a legal play. Is that correct by rule? understanding that the requirement for a 10-second violation is a team that is in control the ball must gain front court status before the 10-second count is reached. In this instance, when the pass contacted the front court, the ball gained front court status by rule. So whether or not a teammate then catches the ball is not a part of the requirement. So in this instance, where the officials' ruling was that this was a legal play, were the officials correct, yes or no? Yes. Yes, this is the correct ruling on this play. Before the count reached 10, the ball gained front court status, rendering this a legal play by rule. Billy, I assume you're referring to are you referring to this play? Legal, legal, legal. Yeah, we know that. Now, in a state that has a shot clock that uses, yeah. Yeah, okay, I like that. Now, wait a minute, I gotta fix something. It's driving me crazy. There we go. Cool. Turn that off. See, I'm in the swing of it, man. A1 is in the front court, attempts to pass to A2. A2 misses the pass. The ball goes into the backcourt. A2 runs after the ball, but as the ball is heading towards the backcourt end line, the ball is grabbed by bench personnel. So if not grabbed, would have been an end line throw-in, but it was grabbed from... Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to go back. Hold on. I'm going to go back. Go back. All right, I have time for a couple of viewer questions. Let's take a look at our next. All right, Thomas Mauger has a play scenario. A1 is in the front court, attempts a pass to A2. A2 misses the pass and the ball goes into the back court. A2 runs after the ball, but as the ball is heading towards the backcourt end line, the ball is grabbed by somebody on the bench. So if it had not grabbed, it would have been an end line throw-in, but it was grabbed from Team A's bench. How do you handle it? And is there a rule or case study showing this? Right? So we have a live ball where somebody on bench personnel reaches out and grabs the ball. Oftentimes you can get a situation. I'm going to do that. Yes. What is the correct ruling in this scenario? Let's think it through, right? So, and is this scenario addressed by rule, right? So you have bench personnel. Sometimes let's say the ball bounces towards the coach. It's obvious it's going to be an out of bounds violation. They catch the ball. It's not like they avoid the ball. Just as if we were the official and a ball is thrown and goes out of bounds, we could catch the ball after it's been out of bounds. Right? In this instance, somebody from the Team A bench or from the bench, whichever one, reaches out and grabs the ball. This is going to be a common sense scenario, maybe more. Did they interfere with play on this situation? Or is this specifically asking just about where the resulting throw-in would be? If you make a judgment that the bench has interfered with play, then a technical foul, bench technical, would be the correct ruling. That would be 2 free throws and the ball at the division line for throw-in. The head coach would receive an indirect for the actions of that individual in that situation. I think the question here is asking specifically, since the throw-in spot has changed, would we handle anything different? This is not something you see every day. This would be a common sense scenario. It's probably not going to be covered by rule. Did this player interfere with play? You may have a coach who says, ho, 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 that's a T. That's a T. And we're going to be hard-pressed to not assess a T in this situation. You'd have to see it in the wild for it to happen, Thomas, but I would say if it was obviously going to be a violation and we made a judgment that this did not interfere with the play, I would simply go with the sideline throw-in in this instance. But you'd have to be sensitive to the, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. What do you think? Mike's unyielding, unsporting. Right. So I guess when I'm reading this play, I'm thinking that it's obvious that this ball is going out of bounds, and that there's been no actual interference with the game in the sense that. So I mean, let's say a teammate. Let's say we're in the front court. A player throws a skip pass. It's a terrible pass, and it just bounces on the court. And before it bounces out of bounds, somebody on the bench catches it, right? Or they reach out and catch it, right? Have they interfered with play in that situation? The ball was going out of bounds. Was somebody attempting to save the ball, and they did that and prevented that player? Or were they simply just catching the ball? In this instance, if they just thought that the ball was going out of bounds and they were, just handling the ball to prevent that because it was obvious it was going out of bounds, as it was in the play I just described, would that be a technical foul? I think you have to see this play to make a judgment. Yeah, the twist, of course, is it was going to be a violation anyway, and there was probably no way to prevent that, but there could have been a foul before, so, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. I think you're correct, Warren. If the action was by the head coach, it would be on that individual. If it was by some other bench personnel, it would be on that individual. What if 2 players reached out? Because it was obvious it was going out of bounds. I did not give a satisfactory answer to that play. All right. Do we have one more? Yes, we do. Wait a minute. Let me get my I'm just going to run that because I need to. Is that play going to make the final episode? No. No, it is not. I go there, I go there, I go there. We've got time for one more play scenario. After the referee has marked the designated throw-in spot on a backcourt sideline and the thrower has released the ball to a teammate in bounds in the backcourt, may the thrower run down the sideline out of bounds from the designated backcourt spot, throw-in spot, and enter the front court inbounds and then receive a pass. A question is from Brian K. Right, so we have this actually occurred, and if the officials ruled this to be a legal play, would that be correct, let's say? No. Let's talk about all the things, right? So Brian noted in a previous 5-Play Friday video that a player released a throw-in pass, ran down the sideline out of bounds, re-entered the court, and it was not penalized. By rule, a player, after releasing a throw-in pass, must return promptly to the court. They must step onto the court. If a player delays their return to the court, they are at risk for a player tactical foul. And that would be the correct ruling on this play. This is different from other levels. National Federation of High School Basketball rules, if a player delays their return to the court, either by not returning to the court in the spot where the throw-in was or moving in the out-of-bounds area and then returning to the court, this is a player technical foul by rule. So in the play scenario that we had on 5-Play Friday, where this was ruled to be a legal play, were our officials in that instance correct? Yes or no? No. No, they were not. If recognized, this should be a player technical foul by rule. That is correct, Warren. Oh. Oh. Correct ruling. I believe they're related. No, I believe that the way to pronounce his name is the same. Boo, 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 boo. Where's my sound effects? Long live the punch. I'm really proud of myself. I'm actually, I've been much better about the hand behind the head and being consistent at the spot of the foul. Wow. Of course, NCAA women's, we don't have that signal. So the move between, so last night I had a collegiate game. Tonight I have a high school game. Although the good news is my game last night, there were no offensive fouls. We had very few fouls, patient teams, easy peasy. All right, gents, I'm going to make a move and I'm going to wrap things up here why? Because I wanted to keep it short. Where are we at? 96 minutes. Pretty close. All right. Oh, that would be ambitious. If I was there, and then I did that, and then I did... Hold on. Can I get things right here? Thanks for joining Basketball Rules Expert today. Now would be a great time, if you haven't already, to do all the things. Hitting the like and the subscribe and the notify. You hit the like button. It really helps the show with the YouTube algorithm. Gets the show in front of more basketball officials. And we have to take a moment to thank our tremendous show supporters. The big board today has Brett Temple, David Yannickian, Jonathan Harris, Herb Hahn, and Roger George. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? There'll always be a link down in the show notes below, and I'm going to do it. I did it again, just like last time. I'm going to put a link up in the show notes below. Tremendous. And then I go. We've got additional video content available for you here. I've made one choice. YouTube make one choice. You make one choice. And we'll see you in the very next video. Take care, everybody. I am lost. I've lost myself. I gotta figure out how to get out of that. Hey. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for joining today. No Philharmonic. No, that guy. Haven't heard from him in a while. Thanks for joining, Dave. Oh, Warren, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a little spotty today, but it was short. Like the old Woody Allen joke is, the food was terrible and such small portions. My tech team is doing what they do best. That's all I'll say about that. Happy New Year to all. And with that, we are going to wrap it up. I hope everybody has great games. If you have them tonight, I hope the weather breaks and your canceled games get made up soon. We will see you for 5 Play Friday. We're going to have some great plays going, and I'm looking forward to the episode, and we will include that cross-court pass off a defender's head that goes through the goal. And we'll see you on Friday. Take care, everybody.